It's 1953. You've just plopped onto the couch after a long day, turned on your shiny new television set, one of the hottest inventions of the decade, and in front of you is a metal tray divided into neat little compartments: turkey, peas, mashed potatoes, and a brownie. No pots, no pans, no dishes, just pure, effortless dinner and entertainment. It was futuristic, convenient, and a little strange, but it became an instant cultural icon. Still, there's something odd about the name. You don't eat the TV, so why are they called TV dinners? Let's find out together, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before microwaves and frozen meals, dinner was a full-blown event. Families gathered around the dining table, someone, usually mom, cooked from scratch, and dishes piled up like trophies of survival. Convenience food wasn't really a thing. Sure, there were canned goods and some early frozen vegetables, but a complete meal you could eat straight out of a tray? That was unheard of. In the early 1950s, the post-war boom was reshaping American life. More women were entering the workforce, people had less time for cooking, and televisions were becoming the new family hearth. By 1954, nearly half of American households owned a TV set, and by the end of the decade, that number skyrocketed. The family dining table was slowly being replaced by the living room sofa, but it took one clever company and a Thanksgiving turkey surplus to accidentally spark a revolution. In 1953, the Swanson Company found itself in a bit of a pickle, or rather, a poultry problem. After Thanksgiving, they had an enormous surplus, about 260 tons of unsold frozen turkey. It was sitting in refrigerated rail cars, and something had to be done fast before it spoiled. Enter Jerry Thomas, a Swanson salesman who looked at those turkeys and saw an opportunity. Inspired by the compartmentalized aluminum trays used for in-flight meals, he thought, why not serve the turkey like an airplane dinner, but for people at home? The concept was brilliant. A pre-cooked, pre-packaged meal that could be heated in the oven and served on the same tray. So in 1954, Swanson rolled out its first frozen meal, a Thanksgiving-style dinner complete with turkey, cornbread dressing, peas, and sweet potatoes. They sold it for 98 cents, and the first year alone, they sold over 10 million of them. America had found its next food obsession. Now here's where the magic, or marketing genius, comes in. Swanson didn't just invent a frozen meal, they invented a lifestyle. The company noticed a growing trend. Families were no longer gathering around the dining table every night. The new ritual was happening in front of the television, so Swanson leaned into that shift. They called it the TV dinner. The name didn't just describe the food, it described the experience. You could enjoy a hot meal while watching your favorite show, no table required. The tray even looked like something out of a sci-fi film, perfectly divided, like the screen you were staring at. It was futuristic, it was modern, and it screamed convenience in a way that matched America's new obsession with technology. That clever branding turned a practical solution for leftover turkey into a cultural phenomenon. The TV dinner wasn't just about eating, it was about how and where you ate. Before the TV dinner, the family meal was sacred, a time to talk, share, and connect. But this new invention flipped that tradition on its head. Suddenly, families were facing the same direction, eyes glued to "I Love Lucy" instead of each other. Mealtime became a one-person experience. You didn't have to wait for everyone to sit down. You could just heat your own tray and eat whenever you wanted. Some people saw it as a symbol of freedom. No cooking, no cleanup, no fuss. Others called it the death of the family dinner table. Either way, it mirrored a changing society where speed, convenience, and entertainment were becoming more important than ritual. In a sense, the TV dinner was a mirror of post-war America. Efficient, mass-produced, and a little bit lonely. By the late 1950s and 60s, TV dinners exploded in popularity. New varieties appeared: fried chicken, meatloaf, Salisbury steak, all packed neatly into those signature aluminum trays. Brands like Banquet and Morton jumped on the frozen meal bandwagon. Swanson even started offering breakfast versions. The advertisements were just as iconic. Happy families smiling at their TV sets, the warm glow of the screen reflecting off shiny metal trays. It wasn't just a meal, it was progress. Housewives were told it would free them from the kitchen, giving them more time for themselves, or at least for watching TV. And America loved it. The frozen dinner became a symbol of the modern household, fitting perfectly with the era's fascination with automation, convenience, and the bright promise of the future. But of course, nothing stays shiny forever. By the 1970s, the term TV dinner started to lose its luster. Critics began calling them unhealthy, overly processed, and bland. People were more health conscious, and the idea of eating off a metal tray felt outdated. Then came the microwave oven, changing everything. The old aluminum trays couldn't go in a microwave, so companies had to reinvent the frozen dinner using plastic containers and new recipes. The name TV dinner quietly faded away, replaced by the more generic frozen meal. Still, even as the branding disappeared, the legacy lived on. Every lean cuisine, every hungry man, every microwavable pasta bowl we eat today owes its existence to that 1950s turkey tray. Today we've come full circle. The idea of convenience food has evolved into meal kits, microwavable bowls, and frozen entrees that look nothing like those old aluminum trays. Yet the spirit of the TV dinner lives on, fast, easy, and tailored to our entertainment-driven lifestyles. Streaming has replaced broadcast TV, and instead of sitting in front of a bulky television, we eat while watching on our phones or laptops. But the core idea is the same: food and entertainment, side by side. Swanson might not have predicted TikTok dinners or Netflix binges, but their invention paved the way for it. Every time we eat a frozen meal while watching a show, we're continuing the legacy of that 1950s innovation, one bite at a time. So the next time you toss a frozen meal in the microwave and settle in for your favorite series, remember, this simple act has a surprisingly rich history. What started as a creative solution to a turkey surplus ended up reshaping how an entire nation ate, relaxed, and connected with technology. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.